Hi, Rainbow Banner here. Just want to speak up about some of the notes that I have here. Talk about a few things. If you truly love someone or something, you let it go. I mean, normally they say you let it go if it comes back as meant for you. But sometimes there's a fine line, I guess. If you really love someone or something, you fight for it. Depending on what it is, I guess. You either fight for it or you never let it go. So you can't just let it go, right? I mean, it's wondering what you think. And it's a rarity to find real love nowadays. It is getting better because people get confused about what love is. It's not just a physical thing. Sometimes you can have real love and true love with somebody without even being physical, you know? And if you have someone or something, like a puppy, whatever, that gives you unconditional love and loves you for you and doesn't force you to change, doesn't force things on you, lets you be you, what'd you do? I was curious. Like, me, that's gold. That's a diamond. I'd never let that go, but hey. And have you ever known someone who's done self-sabotaging? It's like a type of self-abuse, and it's quite often something that people do. It's usually caused by low self-esteem, other negative emotions. It doesn't help with the outside environment if they're picking on them and all that. Sometimes they'll completely destroy themselves to the point where it's destroying others, or they're disguising it as destroying others when actually they're destroying themselves. That's really sad when that happens. It's really sad, and I really feel for you. I really do. It must be rough to have that much pain. Going through what I went through, it gives you a wider understanding about pain in general. Like, you can basically relate to anybody. I mean, if you're empathic anyway, I mean, it's an easy thing to do, but the best thing to do during these situations and you're dealing with something difficult is bend, be flexible, but don't ever break. Don't ever give up. Put your mindset on there and say, no, they're not going to break me. And luckily for me, I'm kind of a rebel, so I'm like, hey, nice try. No, put your mindset. I'm stubborn. But just to say, like, my love is true. My love is real and unconditional and divine. And it's hard to find. I'm looking for the same thing, for someone to give that back to me. And I'm only imagining what that would feel like to give that, you know? It's like someone who loves me for me. It must be wonderful to have that type of love. If you find it, never let it go. Never. Because you literally just hit the jackpot with that. Feeling guilty and ashamed that yourself, and you realize that you have self-sabotaged. Okay. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about, people in general. I'd like to be a life coach of some sort, or I definitely want to be a spiritual guide, but I just want to help people. Yeah. I'm recognized for my character and my love that I give, the care I respect, maybe my sense of humor, and brutal honesty. When I look at people down the street, I love people watching. When people are interesting, I love the diversity. It makes us interesting. And I don't think there's any reason to hate or judge or not like somebody because they're different. I treat all people the same, literally. Everyone. I treat everyone the same. And I see people as people. And then you can really only tell who somebody is, not by the color of their skin or not by the meat suit that they wear, is by their eyes and by their actions. Now, your eyes are where your soul is, and you can look into someone's soul and see what kind of person they are just by looking in their eyes. A little hint there for you. But yeah, anybody that judges people from the meat suit is just, in my opinion, they need to be a little more educated on truth in general, because no shade, but yeah. Negative energy goes to negative emotions that people carry. It's better to let it go rather than try to swallow it. Just forget about it, pretend it doesn't exist. Let it go immediately, or try to find some way of an outlet to get it out. Try to vent it, try to talk about it, because if you keep holding it in, it will cause sickness, etc., etc. It causes cancer and all that other stuff due to the pooling of negative energy in the joints and in the parts of your body. And it also blocks the energy flow, so then you feel more pain. And this has been a fact. And I was thinking about this, and is a reflection of the world itself, because we're all connected. You have the devil, right? The devil is basically a collection, is man-made. I think the devil is man-made. And it's a collection of all of man's negative energy. And as it pools on the earth, right? Like a primordial soup in the spiritual world of like this negative goop, which definitely should be cleansed by people who can transmute. And I think that would help a lot. I've said this before in another post. It's just something to think about. If someone is abundant and they have things to give, and like someone like me, for example, you know, if you needed something, if you needed money or you needed help, ask first, okay? I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask for help. It doesn't hurt to ask for things. You don't need to go behind people's back and steal it and be deceptive and try to trick people out of things or try to make them do things deceptively like that. Just ask. Communication. Like, why can't people communicate? I'm trying. Like, I don't understand. People, just ask. And, you know, and if you did need something, I would give it to you. Sure. You want it? Here. You know, like, you don't need to steal it. And chances are, if you knew me and you needed something and you knew I had something, I would probably give it to you anyway, without even asking me. I mean, that's just who I am, but hey, try asking first and before you just go out and steal stuff. You really need to pay attention to your emotions in this way that it navigates your soul's path. Pay attention to the feelings in your body, and it should guide you, especially if you guide through your heart. It has to make you feel good in order to be guiding you towards the right destiny. What makes you happy is what you're automatically drawn to and what was programmed and what you like. Make sense of it with your mind, and don't make your mind try to do the work of your heart. It won't work. Intuition, how do you tell the difference between a good or bad voice? Same thing. The devil and the angel. You don't know what's good or bad. How's your intuition? What's not? It makes you feel good. Or it's the first voice. It's not going to be a nagging voice. It's going to be just once or twice it says it. If it's a voice. Usually it's a feeling. But if it's a voice, it's usually just one time. If it's a nagging one, no. Don't listen to it. Because the nagging one is the devil trying to convince you otherwise. Okay? That's the difference between your intuition, in case you don't know. Our destiny is aligned with everything that you are and you feel is right. And it should be simple and aligned with your happiness, as I said. God made you just as you are supposed to be. And there's nothing wrong with you. I have to say my own personal opinion. People who get surgery to change their genders, I mean, I got no problem. You can do what you want. It's your body. But the reason why you feel as though you belong in another body, because, you know, past lives and stuff, you possibly remember your past life very strongly, and you weren't properly maybe cleansed. The way babies are born nowadays, you weren't from your past life. There was a reason why you were born into that type of body, and it's usually because your soul could only learn those certain lessons in that body. Like I said, you can do what you want to do with your body. No shade. It's yours. You do what you want. And what I feel is, do what makes you happy. It's fine. Because nowadays, it's hard to be happy nowadays. You gotta be happy with the small things. And just, what makes you happy, do it. And also do what drives you forward. What motivates you. Within the bonds of love. It should be easy and simple. God says be as a child, which means innocent. Look at the world with amazement. Try to follow that mystery, that awe, like, oh. And they say that that's how you get into the doors of heaven. Egyptian, your heart is light as a feather. It's kind of the same thing, and align with the frequency in which desire. Have faith in knowing you are exactly where you need to be in the right place at the right time. So it doesn't help to worry. Let go of the what ifs. The what ifs are the worst because they can hold people back for lifetimes, and then you all of a sudden at the end of your life, you go, damn, I wish I would have just taken the chance. Just something to think about, yeah. Okay? And the past is gone, so just live in the present and do the best you can to smile. And if you can, bring smiles to others. Just trying to help out here. Yeah, till next time. God bless.